Hey everybody, what's going on? Listen, welcome back into the channel. My name is Jessica M. Harris here, and we are back with a brand new video just for you. So, hey, come on in, relax, kick back, all the works, right? And let's get it. Let's go. So, I wanted to come on because I wanted to invite you all to this amazing announcement. For those of you who saw the post in the community, you are aware that I am looking for more writers. Yes. So the Redefine Her magazine has come out with a few issues earlier this year in 2024, but I want to go ahead and come out at least with one more issue to end the year off strong. And you guys, I don't want to do it alone. I want to take this opportunity to to extend it honestly to each and every one of you to come on board and write an article for us. And this is a great way, one, for you to gain visibility, for you to be able to have, a media publication on your media kit in your profile. And then three, it gives you not just exposure for people to see who you are, but it gives you an opportunity to get out your comfort zone, right? Especially if you're someone who hasn't written articles before, or maybe you've done it, but maybe it's been a while, right? Maybe you gotta dust yourself off a little bit so you can get back to it. Like, this is a great opportunity. And excuse me, the objective here isn't to sit there and, just get like one or two articles. Like, no, my goal is to get a handful of them because whichever ones don't get utilized in our upcoming publication, they'll be sure to transfer over into our 2025 magazine. So, regardless, you'll have an opportunity to get featured and get launched. But that's not all. I know some people may think about this opportunity and be like, I don't know, like, am I good enough to am I good enough to write an article? And things of that nature. So, for starters, I wanted to make this video because I wanted to encourage you to think outside the box, right? Don't think of it as this like massive pressure on you, like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to write about. But instead, I want you, if you're interested, right, to look at this more so as a chance where you can take one of your journal entries and not only have it for yourself, but you can display it in a way where others can be encouraged by it. So that's the way that I want to look at it as, right? Because when I read magazines, especially when they come about stories or, testimonies or just encouraging words, like it feels like the person who's writing is writing to me, right? I'm not thinking about the millions of readers that are reading this article. I'm thinking about like, wow, like I feel like they wrote this and they were writing this for me. So kind of look at it from like that personal relationship perspective is the way that I would look at it. And then number two, there's different topics, right? So don't feel like, oh, well, I don't want to write about myself, so I can't do this. Like, that's only a topic, right? Other topics that you can write about is your areas of expertise. So I like to look at the concept of this. There may be some of you guys who are travel agents, right? And maybe you're like, listen, being a traveling agent has allowed you to be able to, travel around the world effortlessly. You can provide, travel tips, right? Because the holidays are coming up. So people do what? They travel, right? Regardless of, who believes in what, people travel. Like people are gonna see family, they're gonna see friends. So you can write an article on, the 2024 best traveling tips or best traveling hacks, right? And if you have pictures, you can send those in and those can be displayed with your article. Boom, right? Like that automatically gets you in front of people and it allows other people to be like, wow, like Sarah Johnson is a travel agent? Like, hold on. I need to book a trip to, I don't know, Bora Bora. Like, let me go ahead and look into her further, right? So it's giving you an opportunity to not only display your expertise, but you also have the ability to talk about yourself, right? And what you do as well. So I feel like in my mind, that's a win-win. But maybe you're not a travel agent, right? Maybe you're a mom. Well, do you have a recipe that your family enjoys? This is a great opportunity to one, talk about that recipe. You could talk about where it came from. You could talk about, listen, one day I only had X, X, and X in my fridge, and I decided to do da 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 da. And y'all, my family has loved it ever since. And here's a picture of it, right? And here are the ingredients, and here are the instructions. Like that simple, right? Because now it gives other people who are been in your shoes who can be like, you know what? I never thought to mix this recipe and that recipe together. Or they could be like, oh my gosh, I love that recipe. Like, yo, where's your book at? Give me more, right? So I look at the perspective that being able to be put on display, because that's what it is when you're in a magazine, right? You are put on display, gives you the opportunity to display the amazing parts of yourself, right? What you know, what you do. And the topics vary, right? So whether it's a recipe, whether it's traveling, it could be fashion. Listen, there are people who do fashion blogs all the time. This is a great opportunity to talk about, your winter fashion tips, right? Maybe there are hacks that you have where you're like, listen, I like to go to this place and grab this because it's on sale at this time of the year, and I like to do da 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 da. Or they could do examples on, pairing up a nice top with X, Y, and Z. And listen, I'm not big in me in fashion, y'all. That's like my daughter. That's my daughter's jam. My daughter in fashion, that's her jam, hands down. I always say to her, I'm like, you get that from your daddy, hands down. You and your dad got that part on lock. That's just a y'all thing. But anyways, right? Like, but something like that is something to keep in mind. Why? Because we know as women, we can relate to that, right? Who doesn't want to know what's the latest trends? Who doesn't want to know, where they can get nice clothes without having to sit there and break the bank, right? Like all these pieces. Who sit there and doesn't want to be in a position to be like, girl, I do got a wedding coming up. Or I do have an engagement coming up, or I do have a gala coming up, and I need me a really nice dress, or I need me a dress that, not everybody's gonna come wearing. Maybe I want a unique find. This is an opportunity to be able to display that type of information for others to see. Why? Because now it positions you as the expert in that area. And that also allows other people to, again, go seeking, like, hold on, where can I learn more about her? Hold on, where does she have more tips at? Where is this? And then now more connections can be made. So, that is just like the few examples that I wanted to offer. Other topics include, you can talk about marriage, you can talk about family, relationships, you can talk about your children, you can talk about essentially, I don't want to say like anything and everything, because there is a list of topics that are in the description box below that are like the pillars and like the big, like, you know, defining features for this magazine. But I want this magazine to really just be as relatable as possible to other women in Christ. Because let's be honest here. Like, yes, I'm a woman. Yes, I believe in God, but there's also other parts to me, right? Like, I'm a business owner, I'm a writer, like, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a mom, like all the things and above, right? So there's other pieces. I like to call it like complexities, right, of life that are tied and woven together. And that's not just me, like that's so many of you guys as well. So, being able to bring information that doesn't just relate to me, but it can relate to the next woman and the next woman and the next woman, I feel like makes a big difference. And I honestly want this to be a place where those of you who may have your industry on lock, right? And when I say industry, respectively, your roles, positions, whatever it is that you do, like whatever it is that you do, right? You are the expert in that experience. And being able to convey that information, especially to a different audience or a newer audience, allows other people to find you, to learn more about you, and possibly even want to connect with you further, right? Like visibility is everything. And who doesn't want to have an opportunity where they can showcase who they are? Now, this is the kicker. And I say this is the kicker because I personally don't know how many other magazines do this, but this is something that I am willing to do just because I want to be more of a help to those who are essentially helping me with this project. Is this: if you are somebody who is like, listen, I may not see myself as a writer, but I will like to write, but maybe I'm a little bit nervous to see like how the content looks. I am willing to have you submit a piece. I will look over it. I will review it. I will make revisions. And when I say revisions, it's more so like feedback, like constructive feedback to it, right? And I will give you the opportunity to rewrite it if needed. And if you agree to the changes or you're like, okay, I get it, I can do that, and you resubmit that to me and it goes through for the approval, boom, right? Versus a place that says, you submitted this article, it sounds cool, but it's not exactly, what I'm looking for, right? And then I just send it back. I want to be able to provide you feedback. I want to be able to provide you the constructive criticism that you need to make it stronger, which will eventually or even potentially give you the opportunity to be able to submit it so it can actually get featured. And I don't want it to be something where it's only being done to get featured. Like, yes, of course, we want the feature, but I feel like giving you that space to be able to receive that constructive criticism also allows you to build your confidence in your writing, right? Because you could be someone who is like in the background, I really just want to write a book, but I haven't seen myself as a writer to be able to do this. So let me try an article first to see if my writing is even strong enough, right? Like, I don't personally want to ever discourage a person from writing because I know what that feels like. Listen, been there and all, right? Growing up, like, stories for days on that part. But anyways, I want you to understand that we're here for you, right? And that we're wanting to be able to challenge you. Honestly, to think outside the box, to get out your comfort zone, to do something you haven't done before, right? Maybe you've never written an article before for a magazine. Maybe you've never written an article beyond the pages in your notebook. Well, here's the perfect opportunity to do so. And this is something that I wanted to do because I just like letters. I like the concept of letters as well. Say you're not somebody who has like, or I'll rephrase, say you're someone who doesn't feel like you have as much expertise to write about like all these other topics, but maybe you are willing to write a letter of encouragement to somebody else who may be going through a health issue or going through a divorce or going through a breakup or going through, the go throughs of life, whatever the case is, right? Maybe you simply just want to write a letter that is to this woman, like an open letter, right? Letting her know that it's okay and giving her words of encouragement, right? Or affirming, it's going to be okay, it's gonna work out. I am also looking for, in my mind, I say like five, probably like 3 to 5 letters that are like that. And they may not all be used in one publication, they may be spread out. But I'm looking for letters like that too, because I personally like writing letters to myself. I like writing letters to God. And I feel like writing letters allows the emotions to be able to be displayed elsewhere on paper and things of that nature. And it also is encouraging to me when I go back to my notebooks, when I go back to my journals. Sometimes it's years later, sometimes it's months later, and I'm like rereading like what I was writing at that time. And I'm just like reflecting back, like, wow, like I can't even believe, like, that's what was going on at that time because I could see the difference, like, right now, like, we're cooling, but at that time, I'm like, "Wow," like, "Dang, that's crazy," and yet you still have the ability to stay motivated and stay encouraged and stay believing and stay, grounded in everything and not allow this to, like, cause you to stray, like, wow, like, I'm so proud of you. Listen, I want this to be an opportunity. It's almost like self-exploration is the way that it comes off to me. Innovation is the word that comes to mind. So, I just wanted to share this opportunity with you because I have been a person who has, grown up reading Word Up magazine, J14 magazine, right? And I enjoyed, the quizzes and I enjoyed reading the articles and I enjoyed reading the interviews and just, taking in the information and being able to relate, with some of my favorite artists or learning things about them that I didn't know and being like, oh my goodness, like that's what Bow Wow is about. Oh my gosh. Or 3LW or I don't know, all these other ones, right? Like y'all, so many, so many. And I wasn't trying to name drop, but like these are like my childhood favorites, right? Amongst others, like there's a lot others, like anyways. But what I'm saying is this. I remember those days reading those magazines and how it would always have me in a smile in my mouth. Like I would always have a smile on my face. Like my mom would go to the grocery store and they're shopping for X, Y, and Z. And I promise you, I was straight up in the magazine section, just reading every magazine I could get my hands on, who was doing what, X, Y, and Z. Like I was into it. So being able to have the opportunity now where I can have my own and then also offer others a space where they can be displayed. It's truly just like that, like humbling moment, like y'all, we doing it. So that is my invitation to you. This video is longer than I anticipated, as always, as always, as always. Anyways, feel free to check out all the links in the description box. You guys, check out our websites for journals, books, the latest magazine. Well, the magazine from April is listed on there as well. And then also we do have coaching services available too. So you're more than welcome to book those. My dates of availability is getting ready to shift. Like, yeah, it's definitely getting ready to shift. So I gotta update that part. But you're more than welcome to book now, and then I will make arrangements later for that part. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. I just want to give you guys just prayer of thanksgiving for those of you who do join me on this journey because I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm excited to see how this takes off. And I just have really big dreams for it. And I am opening this up for you guys at the ground level to join me in this whole endeavor because I know it's not about me. Like, I know it's bigger than me. I know it's beyond me. And yeah. So let's do this together and get redefined in the process. Peace and blessings. Have a great day.